What's up, this is Stephen Bloodworth, and this is my June 2020 Blu-ray update. As you could probably tell from the runtime of this video, I got a ton of Blu-rays this month. Surprisingly, not many DVDs, but a lot of great stuff I picked up this month. I'm gonna start off with some of the 4Ks because I recently started collecting 4Ks on account of I have a region-free 4K player soon arriving in the mail. All of these 4Ks that I have are universal releases, and I gotta stop saying from unless somebody actually sends it to me, because a lot of people are gonna think it's like Cool Looter when he gets sent just about everything to him for free. These ones I actually purchased with my own money. So instead of that, I'll just be saying these are all Universal titles, or Unearthed Films titles, or Arrow Video titles. So I'll be saying that from now on, but the first one's a Universal title. All the 4Ks that I got are Universal titles, and this one is Parasite. I had no idea what to expect when I went into this, but oh my god, it really was probably my favorite film of 2020. You guys probably already know the plot of this one. A kid from a poor family in South Korea gets a job with a rich family, and the poor family kind of does this get-rich-quick scheme where they all pretend to be these people they really aren't to work for this family so they get a lot of money. Just a load of twists and turns in this. You'll laugh, you'll cringe, and you'll say what the fuck a lot. I really can't recommend this enough, and I know a lot of people on here that talk about it say the same because it is true. Another Universal one, I picked this one up when I was at Best Buy, and I didn't have this one. I saw it when it first came out. Really wasn't the biggest fan of it, so I figured maybe I'll give it another shot, and that's the 2018 Halloween. There was just a lot of stuff I didn't buy with this. The ending I didn't buy at all. Obviously they set it up for the sequel, Halloween Kills. I really need to give this one a second chance because there was a lot of stuff that I didn't believe, and a lot of other people that I talked to agree with me that this definitely wasn't the 40th anniversary Halloween that most of us were anticipating. So probably around Halloween time I'll have to give this one another shot. And the last 4K I got, and surprisingly I never owned the Blu-ray of this. I have the DVD, but it's been beaten up for years. It's scratched and it was bound to go into the garbage soon, but it's Shaun of the Dead. One of my favorite comedies of all time, and one of my favorite zombie films of all time. Pretty sure it's up there in your guys' top zombie lists. So that was it for the 4Ks, and now I'm going to get into the Blu-rays. The first of the Blu-rays are all Arrow Video titles, and Arrow Video is one of those companies where I have been behind for years on. I didn't start collecting Arrow seriously until now, and people have been collecting titles from Arrow for a long time, but they really do a great job with their Blu-ray releases, and the first one that I'm going to show proves it. This is by far my favorite film of Wes Craven, but this is the 3-disc limited edition of The Last House on the Left. I remember watching this one in college and just watching everybody cringe at this and I Spit on Your Grave. But it's just an amazing film. It still disturbs me to this day, don't get me wrong, but it's just one of those films that you can go back to and watch over and over again, and it only gets better after every watch. You can still find this one pretty easily, but if you're a fan of Wes Craven or like rape revenge films, then this is a must-see. This next one was a first for me. I've never seen the film. I've only seen a few clips of it online. This is really one of the best slasher films out there. It's from 1976, and it's Alice, Sweet Alice. It's basically the rivalry between two sisters. One's loved, the other's hated. The loved one obviously dies, and everyone thinks it's Alice the mean sister that killed her good sister. The suspense is phenomenal in this, and believe it or not, it's a pretty gory film for 1976. If you're a fan of slasher films, this is a must-see, and this edition from Arrow is excellent. This next one, another first for me, and that's Re-Animator. I really can't believe I've never seen this one before. You know, maybe at the time I thought it was too science fiction or whatever, but it really is a very well-made film. The characters are great, the story is awesome, and the gore is pretty damn phenomenal. One more thing, Arrow did an amazing job with everything on this Blu-ray, and it just looks and sounds beautiful. A lot of these ones are first-time watches for me. This one I've been putting off for so many years, and a lot of people were saying just wait till the end. Just wait till the end, it'll be worth it. And holy shit, were they right. This one is Society. Yeah, the orgy scene, holy crap. I really can't believe what they were able to pull off. All of the special effects and just how downright disturbing it was, it really made for the film. It's pretty slow leading up to the ending, but it's just non-stop suspense all the way around. You think that the character is liked, you think that he's not liked, vice versa, over and over again, but that ending, holy shit. If anybody likes gross out films, mainly gross out scenes in films, I can't recommend this one enough. Yet again, another first for me, and another one I've been putting off for years. I don't know why. Originally, I thought this one was going to be more of a horror film instead of a comedy, mainly dark comedy, and it's The Stuff. I really had a fun time watching this one. It just shows the whole idea of commercialism, and it kind of reminds me of today when everybody was going nuts over the Popeyes chicken sandwich, just seeing how people go crazy over an item just because one person says it's so good, to the point where everyone becomes addicted over it and they just become overall crazy. Well, much like every other title Arrow releases on Blu-ray, it looks beautiful and sounds beautiful. This next one, I've been watching a lot of Japanese and Korean films recently, and this one is actually one of the ones that I'm giving away in my Blu-ray contest. Well, gave away in the Blu-ray contest. This video I'm filming right now will be posted a week after, but it's Audition. And, you know, I really didn't know what to think of it at first when I first saw it, but the ending really paid off. It's pretty much a guy who lives with his son, his wife dies, and he's kind of on the fence about remarrying, and then he meets this one young girl, and I can't even describe it. The ending, wow. The ending was one of the most mind-blowing, disturbing things that I've ever seen out of Japan. But if you're into Japanese horror, suspense, thriller, and especially the gore, then this one is definitely up your alley. This one I did watch years ago. I haven't watched it since, and to be honest, I think I like this one over the original, and that's Creepshow 2. Only 3 stories in Creepshow 2 as opposed to, I believe, 4 or 5 in the original Creepshow. My favorite one probably has got to be the Indian statue in the beginning. You know, the raft scene, I liked it, but just not compared to the Indian statue. And the last one, the hitchhiker, I really like that one as well. Anybody that likes anthologies, if you have not seen this one, it's definitely a must-see anthology. This next one, I've been getting around to getting a lot of Lucio Fulci, Bruno Mattei, and Dario Argento titles, and I can't believe this is one I've never seen. I still need to watch it, but it's Deep Red, and I love that Arrow had done a Blu-ray release of this. If you're a fan of Deep Red or own the Arrow version of Deep Red, please let me know how it is in the comments below. And this one my buddy Chris recommended to me. He is a giant Elvira fan, and I never really grew up with Elvira. I didn't know who Elvira was until much later, but he recently picked this one up on Blu-ray, and told me that this is one that I should definitely check out, especially if I want a good laugh. And this one is Elvira. It's nothing like what Elvira was on television. It's pretty much her in her own movie. I still need to check this out, but if you're an Elvira fan and you've seen this film, let me know how it is. And this has been another one that I've been waiting for so long to get on Blu-ray. I don't know why it's taken me so long, but that's Dead End Drive-In, another one that I included in my contest. I really love this film. I saw this years ago and it's always been a favorite of mine. Arrow did a phenomenal job with this Blu-ray. If any of you guys own this version and you think similar or think negative, please let me know in the comments below. Holy shit, I should just call this video the friggin' Arrow Blu-ray update of May 2020. This one, I've never seen the original, surprisingly. I do own the remake, which I haven't seen in years. I really didn't like it. But I'm really looking forward to checking out the original. It's George Romero's The Crazies. And, you know, I've been watching a lot of Romero also lately, and I really hope that at some point Arrow does a Blu-ray release for Monkey Shines, because I know the Blu-ray for Monkey Shines is now out of print. If you're a fan of The Crazies, definitely let me know in the comments section what you think of it. This one, I have seen the remake of it, but I've never seen the original Japanese films, and this one is the One Missed Call Trilogy, and I got this off of Amazon for a really good deal. If you guys have seen the original One Missed Call films, definitely let me know how they are below. And at last, the last Arrow release that I picked up, and this one, I kind of had a couple extra Amazon bucks lying around, and this one I saw some pretty good reviews on, so I decided why not check it out. This one is The Woman. This is like one of the newer Arrow releases, I believe, but I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. If any of you guys have seen it, please let me know how it is. It looks really good. Now we're going to move on to some Criterion releases I picked up. The first one I haven't seen in years. I really don't remember a lot about besides liking it when I first saw it. I think I saw it on television for the first time, or maybe HBO on demand. It's been years since I've seen it, but I'm happy to finally own it on Blu-ray, and that's David Cronenberg's Videodrome. If you guys own the Criterion version, I'm pretty sure this is the only Blu-ray of Videodrome out there, but if you guys have it, let me know how the Blu-ray is, and let me know your thoughts on the film. And the next one, another one that I gave away in my Blu-ray giveaway, and this one is David Cronenberg's The Brood. Another one that I saw years ago, really loved, and now finally picked this up on Blu-ray. I recently sat down a few weeks ago to rewatch it, and I loved it just as much as when I saw it years ago. Definitely a must-see for any David Cronenberg fan out there. The film is, words can't do it justice. It is just fantastic. And this one, I've always been hunting down the original of this. I do have the remake on DVD, and I found out that Criterion had put out a Blu-ray of it, and it's Funny Games. I watched this, and just going off of it, the remake is a complete rip-off of this film. It's pretty much like the remake of Psycho, where they copied every scene and every line from the film. If you've seen the remake, then they took everything from the original. The original is much more beautifully shot, and everything just seems so much more believable and unsettling than the remake of it. It's one of those instances where it just proves that the original is better than the remake. And this one, I am so happy that there is a Blu-ray release of this one. This is by far my favorite silent horror film of all time, and that is Haxan: Witchcraft Through the Ages. This one looks really good on Blu-ray, except I can't figure out, maybe I have to do more playing around on the Blu-ray, but I can't figure out how to get the original 1922 version, because I seem to just get the re-release from the 1960s. If any of you guys own the Criterion Blu-ray of Haxan, please let me know if you know how to get to the original film. Maybe I'm going crazy, maybe it was right in front of me when I was going through the menu on the Blu-ray, but if If you guys own this, please let me know. And the next 4 I got are all Vinegar Syndrome releases, and this one I've never seen yet, but I love these kind of like 80s haunted house movies, and it's been on my watch list for years after watching Cinemassacre's Monster Madness where they talked about it, and that is Spookies. Going off of his review, it seems like one of those films where I'm really surprised it got past a VHS release, but I'm happy to see that there's a Blu-ray release of it and a good company like Vinegar Syndrome put it out. If you guys have seen Spookies out there and you own the Vinegar Syndrome release of it, please let me know down below. This one was a blind buy. Doug Waugh from Treasure Chest of Horrors, he posted a clip of this on his Instagram, and he said for anybody that likes, you know, rabid grannies or kind of granny killer horror movies, then this would be one to check out, and this one is The House on Tombstone Hill. Another one for me to check out. I'm really looking forward to this. If you guys have seen it, please let me know down below how it is. The next one is one where I saw the limited edition slipcover of it at a convention years ago when it first came out. Didn't have the cash on me to get it, and now that slipcover is really, really valuable. Thankfully, the Blu-ray itself is still in print, and this one is Jack Frost. I just got it on Blu-ray because it's one I've been wanting to get. I haven't seen the film in years since we did the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror episode where we covered this and the sequel. And if you guys have seen that episode, you know that my mother kind of walks in on it on a phone call, and it was just really embarrassing. But it's a fun one, and I look forward to revisiting it sometime around Christmas. And the last Vinegar Syndrome one, this one was okay. You know, I like films about fraternities and sororities, and this one really wasn't what I was thinking it would be. It kind of reminded me of Famine in a way, where somebody that, you know, kind of gets killed by accident comes back and takes revenge on everybody, but this one is Pledge Night, and it's pretty much just a group of pledges going through Hell Week, and I don't know whether to call him a zombie or the ghost of somebody that got killed by the old fraternity that was living in the house comes back and just starts killing everybody. It's fun, there's great kills, and there's a little bit of nudity in it, but for anybody that likes those fraternity, sorority horror films, this is one that I say give it a shot. And now moving on to Scream Factory, and this one I saw and I needed to get it. It just looked too good to pass up, and that is the Blu-ray of Creepshow. I rewatched this one and it looks great on Blu-ray. Scream Factory did a really good job. My favorite out of all the ones in this has got to be the last one with the cockroaches. I just hate cockroaches, they gross me out, and if you've ever seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It is just downright disgusting. I still like Creepshow 2 a little more than this one, but it's just great. I love Leslie Nielsen's cameo in this, and for anybody that likes anthologies, this is probably the one you must see. The next one was another first for me. I can't believe it's taken me this long to watch it. I've known about this film for maybe the last 10-15 years and just never did anything with it. I always saw the MGM DVD on Amazon, just never bought it, but now Scream Factory put out the Blu-ray and it's The Burning. I must say, it's really entertaining to see a young George Costanza, David Alexander in this, and you know, a lot of people compare this and say, you know, what's better, The Burning or the first Friday the 13th? That's a hard one for me. A lot of people say they like The Burning better than the first Friday the 13th. It's different. It's definitely, both films are very different. If you ask me, this one has a little more comedy in it, but the better of the films, in my opinion, goes to Friday the 13th. I still love this one, but compared to Friday the 13th, it's a tough one. I would say Friday the 13th just wins. But Scream Factory did a really nice job on this, and I do believe that this is one of those cases where the slipcover is now out of print. Scream Factory does this with just about all their Blu-rays, where there's a limited edition slipcover, and then after that they'll just keep producing the Blu-rays. I'm not one of those guys that goes crazy over the slipcovers. I like them, sure, but if it doesn't have it, then I really don't care. This next one is one I saw when I was maybe in the 4th grade, and I haven't seen it since. I really do need to rewatch it again. I just remember loving it and being grossed out by it, and it's Slither. It's definitely a great throwback to the B movies of the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and the slug creatures in it are still just as disgusting as they were when the film first came out. And the last Scream Factory Blu-ray that I got, and it's not my favorite, but I collect anything Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I remember when they were first going to release the Blu-ray, they had to pull the original artwork from it because apparently either both of them or either Matthew McConaughey or Renee Zellweger said no to having their faces on it. I guess they really don't want anything to do with it, but it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, and I kind of like this one. It's not the worst, or no, it is the worst, excuse me. It is the worst, but it has some charm in it to me, mainly for the fact that it was one of those films where I had always seen clips of it, never seen any reviews. I was way too young. I maybe was in the 5th grade when I was still not allowed to watch R-rated films, and it was one of those ones where I saw on FearNet On Demand, and they had this one on demand for so many years. And I just remember watching it, and I liked it because it was either that or the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre that I would see all the time. And the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre Fuse played almost like every other week. But it's just one where I know it's bad, but it'll always have a special place in my heart. Alright, so I probably have been going on for a really long time in this one video, and we're only halfway done, so I'm going to stop right here and I'll make a part 2 of the rest of the Blu-rays that I got. So when you're seeing this, this will be a 3-video week. So there'll be this update, and then Wednesday will be part 2 of the Blu-ray update, and then Friday will be the DVD update. I hope I haven't bored you guys too much, but for those of you who are still here, thank you so much for coming by and checking out this video. If you're new to my channel, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for all my newest videos posted every Monday and Friday. And make sure to follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, to stay posted on what I'm doing behind the scenes of making these videos. And before you click off this video, definitely make sure to hit it with a thumbs up, and leave me a comment below saying which films you picked up recently, and if there's any films in here that you like or you don't recommend. Until next time, take care, stay scared.